So Berklee College of Music, let's talk about it real quick. When I first got to Berklee, that was in the end of 2010. My experience at Berklee College of Music was, or what I thought it was going to be, was I was going to learn music and do music, 24/7, work on my own music and pretty much just put it out. At the time, I didn't understand marketing. I didn't understand the music industry. I didn't understand music business. And at the time, the president, I think he's still the same president. He played drums, but he's more so a business guy. He's more so a marketing guy. And he's there to, get more students. So when I was there, I met guys like Joe Cleveland, Mono Neon, had just left when I came in. Sean Wright, Nick Smith, Jan Hunter, a bunch of guys who made the arrangements. The arrangements is what enticed me to go to Berklee because it was just so dope. But the students that did the arrangements don't really understand that they are the ones who promoted Berklee to people like us, right? The experience, John Mayer and who else went there? A bunch of other people went there that makes you feel like, well, if he went there, that's the reason why he's where he's at or where she is. When in all actuality, Berklee is not an exclusive college like that. Okay, you can get in if you have the money. I racked up like $100,000 worth of student loan debt in 2 years because I was off campus and I didn't have a scholarship or anything like that. So if you're thinking about going to Berklee, you have to be clear on why you're going. Get a scholarship to go to Berklee if you can. Not discouraging you if you wanted to go, because I seen a Facebook status that Mono Neon had about Berklee while I was actually attempting to go and audition, and he was talking about how it wasn't for him, and I was just mad as hell. I'm like, why are you knocking my dream? Da 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 da. I just didn't understand what he was talking about, where he was coming from. So, yeah, you got to think about, how much it's going to cost to actually pay for your all the things you need to do, like your travel, because you have to take bus and T trains. You have to think about, are you going to be an artist? Are you going to be a producer? Are you going to be an engineer? What are you going to do in the music business? I was there when Jetro Silva was a professor who used to play for Whitney Houston. So you would think like, okay, this is like a school where I'm learning the music industry. Well, in all essence, it's different parts, right? If you go to Berklee, you should be learning a skill that can make you money, not learning how to be a vocalist or learning how to play an instrument. Okay, you can get private lessons to learn how to play an instrument, guys. Okay, if you go there somewhere like Full Sail, go there to learn production, go there to learn engineering, because that's going to actually give you a job when you get out. Now, when I was there, I released the album there. I was rapping, I was playing drums, I was learning production, I was learning all that stuff, but I wanted to be an artist. Most of you guys more than likely want to be artists. Okay, I have a company called Mic Check Global that I started in 2013. After a couple of years of being at Berklee, I dropped out at 2012. From St. Louis, Missouri. I'm not there now, but I'm from there. I basically put myself in a position where I wanted to work full time on my music, had to sell tickets, had to sell CDs and make this thing work. And I figured out that you need marketing. So I started a marketing company to basically, I was marketing myself, but I didn't have the money to continue marketing myself. And while I was marketing myself, other artists wanted to know how I'm doing it. And I was also realizing that marketing is what businesses do to create income. So I started thinking about, I'm like, that's what Berklee did. Berklee marketed, even though the arrangements was what the students were doing, that was marketing to us to want to be a part of it. When they market, you know, John Mayer, Esperanza Spalding, people like that, the college didn't make them, guys. The record label and the marketing made them, okay? Not Berklee, okay? Berklee is an institution that their first objective is to make money. They need students, okay? But the experience that you have with playing different instruments, you know, jam sessions, things like that, the networking opportunities, social media now, you know, some of you guys have probably went viral, you know, from being there. Some of the jam sessions that, you know, you see on YouTube and things like that, it looks great from the outside. But when you're inside, you're learning ear training. Okay, so for the people who are watching this video, they might know what I'm talking about. You know, ticky ticky ta 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 ta. That see, now we're getting into the real lessons of Berklee, and that is ear training. What is ear training? Ear training is basically a scam. Let's keep it real. Sol la fa ta ti do fa fi da, solfege. Okay, you don't need solfege in the music industry. Okay, these are basically filler classes to get your money. All right. When you're looking at the notation of a rhythm, and you got to be like a composer and do your da 2 3 4 ta ticky ticky ta ta ta. See, they're not going to advertise that on the Berklee site. They're not going to advertise what the classes are. Okay. When I was there, I had a drum instructor tell me how to hold a drumstick for like a month. So I had his private lesson once a week, and he was showing me how I should hold a stick to ting, to ting, ting, to ting, ting, like with your wrist. Come on, 1, your wrist, 1 to your wrist. F all that wrist stuff, bro, because all of the greats have different techniques on how they held a stick. Okay, it has nothing to do with just the technique of everything. And when you sing, ho 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 ho, like, come on, bro. Come on, bro. You got auto-tune now. These girls that singing these songs, they slap auto-tune on there and they ain't got no, they got vocal trainers and things like that, but that's not gonna get, look, I got into marketing to understand how an artist actually blows up. All right, has nothing to do with none of that stuff that they're teaching you there, but it's a great marketing scheme to get students to pay for it. And plus it's prestigious. It's like, oh, it's Berklee, da 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 da. So you're paying $50,000 a year, and I don't know if they have a doctorate program yet, but when I was there, they didn't have a doctorate program or a master's degree program. That was at Harvard. So it's like, you might as well go to Harvard if you're trying to get a doctorate. But the doctorate and degrees, as we know, don't make you the money. I became an entrepreneur, and I don't even have a degree in marketing. But if you look me up and you go to Instagram and you go to my personal Facebook and you go to my personal Instagram and you Google Mic Check Global, you're going to see I'm official, and it has nothing to do with a degree. And people pay me tens of thousands of dollars to hundreds of thousands of dollars to market what they have going on. Even companies do that. So at the end of the day, the reason why you're going to Berklee is to potentially blow up as an artist and a musician. That is what you're thinking is the key to get to where you're at, and that's not what happens, guys. Okay, a lot, when I was there, they didn't have the skyscraper. They actually increased the tuition to build the skyscraper. We're talking about 2012. All right, they started building that skyscraper, I believe 2013, 2014, I believe. I could be wrong by that, but as soon as I left, I started seeing that skyscraper, and I was like, oh, that makes a lot of sense, because when I was there, they didn't have enough practice rooms. They barely had enough dorm rooms. I had to live off campus, and for the ones who live off campus, you know the rents are very high. And don't even think about doing gigs. I got lucky to do gigs around Boston, but if you think about it, when I went there, I was like, ain't no way I'm gonna play for a church. Ain't no way I'm gonna play for any of these clubs out here, because it's a city full of musicians. Ain't no way. I actually got lucky to play for a gospel male chorus and I was able to get on TV. I was able to tour with them and things like that. But that was like a one-off thing. And playing for a church, I was making like $100 a week, you know, barely enough to really pay for food, travel, all those things. And that was back then. So with inflation, it's even more expensive. So at the end of the day, you got to really question, like, okay, if I'm going to go here and I'm going to get a certification to be a producer, to be an engineer, because that's really the only thing that's going to pay you. Being a producer, it's a lot of people that make beats, guys. It's a lot of people that sing. If you're going to go be a engineer, you got other options in Berklee. You got Full Sail, you got online classes. You don't have, I mean, this whole college experience stuff is overrated, right? Overrated. I'm not just trying to discourage you guys. I had $100,000 worth of student loan debt at 19 when I went to Berklee College of Music, and I was like, nah, I don't want to have 200,000 by doing 4 years. And I didn't even pick what degree I wanted to get in, because that's the thing. You can go there and not have a degree path of what you wanted to pursue. Because I'm like, okay, if I do, you know, the first 2 years you're trying to get your feet wet. They're making it seem like you have time to decide that, but they're getting paid in those 2 years, guys. They got music therapy degrees and vocal degrees. It's basically a lick, to be honest with you guys. So they got a lot of filler classes. They got a lot of stuff that, you know, will make you feel like you're doing something. And on top of that, they don't have, well, I'm not sure if they have a music marketing course or anything like that, but I should be teaching that, because I've been doing music marketing since 2013. You know what I'm saying? So we're talking about 10 years. Who is going to teach you social media marketing? Who's going to teach you music marketing if they haven't done it for a long span of time? And why in the hell would I take a job when I have a successful business that's doing that independent? I don't have to have any bosses. I don't have to have anybody tell me what curriculum or course I have to do. Like, they can't even teach you TikTok marketing because it's so new and fresh. Social media marketing updates every 6 months. So again, I'm not discouraging you guys who want the experience of Berklee and things like that. What I'm trying to tell you is be smart, understand the game, and make sure if you're going to go there, just go for engineering. But again, there are other alternatives to where you don't have to rack up so much money to learn engineering. They have online courses to teach you engineering. And at the end of the day, even if you get a degree in that, you have to network, you have to market yourself in the marketplace and compete with people who already have these positions. So if you guys have any questions about Berklee, about anything that went on, about life after Berklee, things like that, please leave a comment with any more questions that you have. I should have done this video years ago. For some reason, I seen a video about New York rent, and I was like, let me see what Boston rent was. Then I was looking up Berklee videos about, you know, stuff on YouTube, and I was like, man, I haven't even made a video about this. So leave a comment. I will answer any questions that you all have. I'm here to service you all. That's my way of giving back to my younger self back then, okay? Please leave me some comments. Tell me what you think. I will do a part 2 or 3 or as many videos as I need to get to everybody's questions, all right? Peace.